Imagine a child waking up on the moon. They have never heard rain on a roof. They have never smelled an ocean or stood under an open blue sky. To them, Earth is not the ground. It is a bright blue place in stories. Now ask a strange question. What if the moon becomes a country? Not because someone plants a flag and says mine. That old Earth story does not work there. The moon already has law above it. The Outer Space Treaty says no nation can claim the moon by sovereignty, use, occupation, or any other trick. Outer space is supposed to be free for exploration and used by all states. The moon and other celestial bodies are supposed to be used for peaceful purposes. Another treaty, the Moon Agreement, goes further and calls the moon and its resources the common heritage of mankind. So, at the beginning, the legal answer sounds simple. No one owns the moon, but humans have a habit of making simple things complicated. First come robots. NASA is already using commercial lunar delivery services to send science and technology to the surface. One delivery becomes many deliveries. Paths appear between landing pads, storage tanks, antennas, and power stations. Power lines become more important than flagpoles. Water becomes more important than almost everything. Permanently shadowed crater floors can protect ancient ice. Water can mean drinking water, oxygen, radiation shielding, and maybe fuel. And once a resource matters, a new question appears. Who gets to use it first? The Artemis Accords talk about safety zones and deconfliction, so activities do not interfere with each other. A safety zone is not supposed to be a border, but from far away, it can start to look like one. Then people arrive for longer stays. At first, the settlement is a science base. Then it becomes a work camp. Then it becomes a town that happens to be sealed against vacuum. Outside, there is no air. No weather comes to rescue you. Life support becomes the first government. Oxygen is law. Water rationing is politics. Repair bills become taxes. A broken airlock can become an election issue. Earth can give advice, but the people in the dome have to act first. Even a short communication delay feels long when a room is losing pressure. So who decides what happens? Mission control on Earth? The company that owns the air system? Or the people whose lungs are inside the building? That is where a council begins. Our little cat narrator would probably underline that part twice. A country is usually made of pieces. People, government, rules that people follow, and recognition from others. But the moon breaks the territory piece. A nation cannot simply draw a border around lunar ground and call it sovereign. So the first moon country might be a country without normal ground. Not a claim over the moon, a charter for the people living there. Birth records come first. Then schools. Then clinics, courts, repair crews, and emergency teams. If someone commits a crime in a sealed habitat, whose court hears it? If a child is born there, whose citizen are they? Someone dies there, where is home? Home is not just where a government files paperwork. Home is who protects you when something breaks. Daily life would slowly stop matching Earth. The lunar day is almost a month long. Work schedules, school schedules, and fleet schedules would bend around that. New words would appear. New habits would feel obvious to people born there. Earth visitors might feel clumsy, loud, and wasteful. Identity can grow in small differences. One day, people stop saying Earth sent us. They start saying we live here. Before we go deeper, if strange future stories are your thing, like and subscribe. It helps Nikora keep opening these impossible doors. Then comes the economy. A lunar settlement might sell science data, landing services, repairs, power, or fuel. You may not own lunar land like ordinary territory, but you can own equipment. And whoever owns the equipment can control access to the things people need. That is one possible future, the moon as a company town. Another future is an international city, governed by treaty and shared rules. A third future is a self-governing lunar republic. And the worst future is a fight over ice, power, and landing sites. A safety zone could become an exclusion zone in everything but name. The settlement becomes a knot of treaties, companies, missions, and people who cannot just go home. The country question probably appears during the crisis. Maybe Earth orders a mining operation shut down. The residents say if you close that, we lose heat, water, and jobs. Earth says law. The moon says life support. That is the moment independence stops being a slogan. It is not about a flag. It is about survival becoming self-rule. But even then, the rest of Earth has to decide what it is looking at. If it claims lunar land, many countries would call that illegal. If it claims only the right to govern its own people, the argument gets stranger. It might look less like a nation on land and more like a city, a ship, and a space station at once. Maybe the first lunar passport does not promise land. It promises protection, promises a vote. It promises that decisions about air, water, and risks are made by the people who live with them. Recognition may be the hardest piece. A country partly exists because other countries agree to treat it like one. Without that, the settlement may be called only a base, a company town, or a mission. So Earth would ask practical questions first. Who pays for rescue if something goes wrong? Who is responsible if a rover damages equipment from another country? Who registers ships, habitats, births, deaths, and contracts? Who gives permission to dock at the settlement? Who controls radio channels when every signal matters? That means the first recognition might look boring: a mailing address, a medical record system, a bank account that other banks trust, a court order that another court respects. Tiny threads of trust can become a political body. It is not romantic, but it is how real authority often grows. Then one day, the settlement sends a delegate, not a king, not a conqueror, just a representative saying, "These decisions affect our air." Some governments would refuse to listen. Others might listen because the alternative is chaos. And then there are the children. The first generation born there may learn Earth as a place their parents came from. The second may learn it as history. The third may ask why Earth gets to decide. For them, the sky is black, the horizon is gray, and home is sealed with bolts. Earth may be beautiful, but it may not feel like home. That emotional shift matters. A country is not only dirt. It is memory, protection, argument, debt, language, and shared danger. So could the moon become a country? Legally, not by simply claiming lunar land. Politically, maybe, if people live there long enough to need self-rule. The first lunar country might not be born with fireworks. No anthem, no parade, no dramatic speech. It might begin as a maintenance log, then a budget, then a vote that Earth does not control, then the first time the settlement says no. And maybe, long before anyone recognizes it, the first real word is we. Because if humans go to the moon to stay, we will not only bring rockets, we will bring laws, arguments, children, bills, repairs, and the old human need to belong. And one day, Earth may look up and realize the moon is not just a place we visit, it is a neighbor with its own front door.